Hello there, family.
What's up, family?
I didn't see you there.
Hi.
Family, welcome back to another edition of the Crenshaw Corner. I am your host, Sanchez Crenshaw, and as always, I am joined by the absolute best part of my day.
What's up?
The wind beneath my wings.
Yes.
The apple of my eye.
I am.
The rib that completes me.
Totally completed.
The Shannon to my Leroy.
Nope.
Leroy?
Is this like Buffy the Vampire Slayer killer thingy?
What part of what I said sounded anything like Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Wasn't the guy Leroy?
Who was? There was no Leroy.
The other.
Spike?
Who's Spike?
It was Angel. It was Spike.
Angel. I thought his name was Leroy. I don't know. Shannon and Leroy.
Please tell me.
Okay.
How you got
Leroy. I'm a thinking mover.
Angel.
I'm a thinking mover player, and I thought it, and I thinked it, and I moved it.
The head slap.
What?
The head slap.
Who slapping somebody on that?
His favorite person was Abby.
No.
Tony and Ziva.
What decade was this?
McGee.
What decade was this, baby?
To the 2000s. The show's only been on for about 18 years.
A head slap of McGee.
Yeah.
I don't know
Tony
these people.
and Ziva.
No.
Jethro.
Jeffro. We talking about NCIS?
Yes.
First of all, that's not my favorite show.
It's mine, though.
And you know I don't like him.
How do you not like Gibbs?
Gibbs?
That is not possible.
No.
It is humanly impossible.
Which one always put on his gloves and his eyeglass and talk real slow?
See, first of all, you always get that confused. First of all, do not disrespect Horatio Kane.
Yeah, I don't like Horatio.
Do not disrespect Horatio Kane.
I don't like. He works. He talks and put his glass. And this is about to be finished.
That's CIS.
That is the dumbest.
That's CSI. CSI Miami is what you're thinking of.
No, the what?
Yeah, Horatio Kane.
I can't stand him.
CSI Miami.
I don't like him.
I said NCIS.
He gets on my nerve.
Leroy Jeffro Gibbs.
He all right. The one that be doing the boat.
Yeah. He's building a boat in his basement.
I ain't a fan of him.
Which the craziest part, that was always like a running theme.
Like how many years can you do this boat?
No, not even that.
What?
How did he get the boat out of the basement? That was the question.
What, did it ever come out the basement?
It did, because he would build that one, finish it, and then start a new boat.
You seen him take it out the basement.
That's the thing. And they would always ask, how do you get this boat out of the basement? He would never answer the question. But yeah, Shannon was his first wife. Shannon is the reason Jethro was what he was, because that was his first wife that he loved and cherished and adored. But unfortunately, she was tragically taken away from him, and it changed his life forever. But she was the love of his life. That's why I say the Shannon to my Leroy, because you're the absolute love of my life.
Thank you. I love you so much too, baby. Thank you so much.
But what you not gonna
yet,
do? What's up?
You still giving me these things I don't know.
You should know that, because that's one of the shows. The fact that
I'm the love of your life and you think I should know this stuff. Like,
but my thing is, here's the thing though.
I'm listening to the thing.
And family, we're gonna get into the episode in just a moment.
Yeah.
But right now, I got bones. I got bones to pick.
With who?
With you, ma'am.
Carry on.
With you, ma'am.
Carry
because
on.
What you never gonna do in my presence
is you back to Horatio again?
Is disrespect Horatio Kane. Okay.
What show is that again?
That's CSI Miami. Yeah, what you're never gonna do in my
sleeping.
presence. Is that what that is?
A snore. I don't want to hear about him, bro.
Nah, you're not gonna disrespect
Every time
Horatio,
he get up
man.
there, he do the same thing.
Come on, it was some of the best one-liners, man.
Because as he's putting his sunglasses on, it don't make no sense.
That was the cool part, man.
Nothing was cool about him, baby.
Part.
He put on his sunglasses. We'll just deal with that later. Let's move forward.
First of all, the way you said it didn't even sound cool. So you're taking the coolness out.
No, I'm not. That's exactly how he sounds.
Because he would have that stance. He would have that stance, and then he would slowly put the glasses on and do his one-liner. It was beautiful. Every time he did, it was beautiful.
It wasn't, baby. But
he brought redheads back, man.
If you say so.
Just say he brought redheads back.
I love you a lot. I love you a lot. It's important.
Small question.
Yes. What's going on, family? What is going on, guys? I am Angela Crenshaw, guys. What is going on?
That is my wife, family.
Now let me just say this, guys.
What's going on?
Because y'all might think my voice is real raspy. I have to sound sexy and all that good stuff. I got really bad allergies.
Yeah.
And it's running into my ears and my throat. And every year about this time, I lose my voice.
So
that's okay. But
yes,
I'm coming
she does.
out.
Really bad allergies. Actually, I'm glad you said that, because family, if anyone works in the bubble business that's listening to this particular episode, please reach out, because I need to get my wife a bubble.
Yeah.
Because my wife literally is allergic to life.
No, that's not what the doctor said.
Baby,
well,
the
she
doctor,
basically
she said that. She said everything that's outside you're allergic to.
You need to stay in the house. Tree pollen, grass pollen, just
But the
everything.
crazy part, she said everything in the house you're allergic to too.
Yeah.
So you're allergic to stuff in the house and allergic to stuff out of the house. So
Yeah.
therefore, ergo, ipso facto, you need a bubble.
I think it's North Carolina, because here's the thing. I had no allergies in New York City.
True.
I didn't have any allergies till I came. I was even allergic to animals till I came to North Carolina. I had a dog. I had a cat.
And I'm getting a
I
dog.
get here. We're not doing that.
I'm getting a dog.
We're not getting a dog.
You gonna have to suffer, dog.
No, I'm not suffering, dog.
Hey, I did for 22 years, so it's your turn.
There's been no suffrage on your part.
I've been wanting a dog for 22
That's
years.
not suffrage,
That
baby.
is
You're
suffrage.
not suffrage.
That is suffrage.
You've seen other people's dogs.
Right,
You've
and it's-
communicated with other people's dogs.
That's like saying
Just living through the other people.
That's
baby.
like saying you hungry. You saw somebody eat a hamburger. You should be satisfied.
You
with
should be
that.
satisfied, yeah.
Because you smell somebody else's hamburger.
Because it's your mind. Once you get the smell, it's like almost like eating it. It's your mind, baby.
Well, it's gonna be your mind when the dog is in the house. It's gonna be your mind.
What house will the dog be in? Yours?
The same one I'm living in.
Okay.
The same one I'm
the
living
dog
in.
house is where you gonna be.
Hey,
Dog
family.
house. I'm sorry. Carry on.
Welcome.
Hi guys.
Welcome back to the show, family.
What's going on?
Welcome back, family. For our first time listeners, welcome.
What's up?
We appreciate you. We thank you.
Yes, thank you for listening.
However you're listening, whether it's on iTunes, whether it's Podbean, whether it's Spotify, whether it's Amazon Music, whether it's Google Podcasts, whether it's iHeartRadio, or on our own personal website at www.thecrenshawcorner.com. We thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, guys.
For our returning family members,
Return us.
you already know how we feel about you.
Listen, I got to say something to the returners.
Talk to them.
Guys, thank you so much for your patience. Because I know y'all be like, where? The Crenshaws just be disappearing. It is not intentionally.
Oh, where have the Crenshaws gone?
Yes, it is not.
Where can they be?
It's not intentional between losing my voice and everybody who's listening or who does not know, I had knee replacement surgery. And I'll just say that this particular situation with the knee replacement surgery is kind of like Pastor Sermon, life after the letdown.
Life after the letdown. Yeah.
So it's been
life after the letdown.
So I believe God. Everything all is well, but it has been a little longer, and it's a journey.
Yeah.
That we're taking right now.
I'm not gonna say it's been a little longer.
Okay.
Really, only reason I'm not gonna say it's taken a little longer because you have nothing to compare it to.
This is true.
You've never been on this journey before.
Yeah, this is true.
This is the first time. You've had operations before, but you've never had a total knee replacement. Right.
Yeah.
So we don't know
different.
yet, and the part of that I always have a conversation with you about is that we can't compare it to anything else.
Yeah.
You can't compare it to anything you've been through in life.
And other people.
You can't compare it to other people
who had it.
Right. You can't compare it because this is new and unique to you.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's been, and we're going to kind of get into that.
But that's so. Those thank you guys. I want to say thank you for your patience, though, that you stick it through regardless.
Yeah.
I mean, some of you call me like, until y'all come back, we're just going to listen to the old ones, and so we're so super thankful.
We're not a flake family. We're not flaky.
We it feels like it though.
Sometimes it may feel
like that, and we're super sorry. But we just thank you guys so much for your patience,
and we appreciate.
Go ahead, baby. I'm sorry.
And family, as always, welcome to the cookout.
Yes.
Make sure you bring some aluminum foil so you can wet bag.
Take something with you.
So you can take something with you.
Aha moment, a Crenshaw nugget, a gem, something. Take something with you. Hopefully we've given you a lot when we're missing that you can utilize that, what we've given, hopefully. Hopefully we hope.
As my wife say, that aluminum foil.
That aluminum foil.
Makes it taste better. So just leave it marinating that aluminum foil for a little bit. It tastes better.
Not weeks and weeks though.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Then it becomes a science project at that point.
Yeah, at that point. Yeah.
But also, family, we consider ourselves an interactive podcast.
We are.
Which means we can be found on the socials, on Instagram and Facebook, all under the Crenshaw Corner.
Come on now.
And of course, you can email us at any time at thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com.
Yes.
Once again, thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com.
Yes, super excited.
So, baby, we're back.
Hi, we are back.
We are back. I'm assuming, because I don't know, there is a topic that you would like to speak on.
There's a topic that is close to our heart.
Okay, what's up? What you got?
I want to talk about, I don't know if I'm going to say this correctly. So this is our first conversation about it, and we'll see what happens.
Okay. That's normally what we do. We just throw stuff against the wall like spaghetti.
Yeah,
and
but
see
this
if
one
it
is going to be a
sticks.
little bit different. I want to talk about the caretaker and the caree. And would I say that I'm the caree though? That's so weird.
Okay. So it's the
Caretaker.
well, typically when you talk about stuff like that, it's the patient and the caregiver. Typically,
But when it's family members, can you say the patient and the caregiver?
depending on the family member, because there's some family members that are patients. I'm just saying. There's some family members that wear on your patience.
Okay. Wow.
I'm just saying.
That was deep. That was deep, bro.
I just had a moment.
That was deep. That was super deep.
But for the Crenshaw, for the purpose of this podcast, because we've been known to make up our own words anyway.
Yeah, let's look
So
that
we're
up.
gonna say the carer.
Okay.
The care.
The
Hold on, because you
caretaker.
got an employee.
You're the caretaker.
and an employer.
Right. So
So
you.
the carry. You're gonna be the
I
carry.
said the carry, and you looked at me like I was great.
That's what we're gonna go with. I said it. I made up the word. It's my word. You can't have it. I'm
I
a
said the
trademark.
caretaker and the carry.
The carry. We're gonna go with that.
And I want to talk about that because this has definitely been a journey. And I know we talked about, when the vow said to death do us part in sickness and health. And I know one time in one of the podcasts we talked about in sickness and health, and we just basically was just talking about me just being in pain with my knee.
Right.
But this is a whole different. But I still could get around and do the things that I normally could do. But for this month and a half, I haven't had full capacity or capability to assist in the things, as far as family and the house and stuff like that. And that's kind of been on your back, So I wanted to talk about that because you get really frustrated with me about certain stuff, and I think it's because I can see that you're tired, right? And I can see that you're exhausted, and I know you're doing it, you love me and all those things. But I think as a caree, there has to be a time where regardless of what I'm going through, that I still have to look out for you too. Because I believe that caretakers don't look out for themselves. And it's weird that I'm the person you're taking care of, but I have to be an advocate for you and say, hey, babe, sit down. No, we're not doing that. No, I don't need it. No, I don't want it. Like those things, because I can see the exhaustion on you, which kind of like frustrates you or whatever the case is. But I feel like I feel like I'm a caretaker and you're a carry as well in that situation with us, because I still want to take care of you,
Right.
because you're super exhausted. And so tell me truthfully, this journey that me and you've been on as far as this surgery and all of the journey, how has it been for you though?
To be honest, I have not had a chance to think about the journey. Only thing I can do is move. I don't have time to think about it.
Okay.
I don't have time to think about how I feel. I don't have time to think about if I'm tired. I don't have time to think about, how do I feel good? Do I not feel good? I don't have time.
Right.
Stuff has to be done because throughout this entire process, I'm still working.
Right. Exactly.
For the family who's not familiar, I still have a full-time job. I work from home. Even though I'm working from home, I still average 10 to 12 hour day most of the times. So I'm still working. So I don't have time, because I don't have time to think about, okay, I'm tired. Okay, I don't feel good. Okay, I don't want to do this. I don't have time for that. Stuff has to be done.
Right.
My job responsibility still has to be done. You still have to get to your appointments. You still need to eat. You still need to be able to maneuver around. You still need to get out the bed, get in the bed. You still need your medicine. You still need to do your exercises on your legs while you're at home. There's
Right.
stuff that still needs to be done.
Absolutely.
We have another family member living with us. They still have to go to their appointments. They still need things. So I don't have time. I don't have
Right.
time to think, to be honest, I don't have time to think about, am I okay, period.
Right.
When this whole process is over and we get back to a somewhat normal existence, then I'll reflect back on if I'm okay.
Right.
But right now I don't have time.
Right.
It's the crazy part. You know my mind. For me right now, my motto comes from a 1980s action movie. It's The Predator. Arnold Schwarzenegger fighting the alien. One of the best action movies of all times. But there's a scene when they're in the jungle, and it was Jesse Ventura. For those that don't know, Jesse Ventura was actually a wrestler, a pro wrestler back in the 80s, 70s, 80s. And then turned actor, actually turned governor of Minnesota as well. But that's a story for another time.
Oh my God, him and Arnold. But go ahead.
Yeah. But there was a scene in the movie, they're in the jungle, they're going through everything. Jesse's character gets wounded and he's bleeding. And one of his buddies turns to him and say, hey, you're bleeding. You need to take care of that. And he turns to him and is like, I don't have time to bleed. And he kept it pumping.
Right.
That's kind of my model right now.
Right.
I don't have time to bleed.
Right.
There's too much going on.
Right.
There's too much that needs to be done. I don't have time to bleed. I don't have time to be tired. I don't have time to think about, to be honest, I don't have time to think about myself.
Right.
The mission has to be done. The mission has to be accomplished, and I have to keep moving forward.
Right.
So that's kind of the mindset I'm in right now.
Right.
I don't have time to bleed.
And for me, this journey has been, first of all, totally thankful to you for all that you do. However, that doesn't work for me,
right.
whether I'm in pain or not. So I'm busy, like, go in the bathroom and don't come back out. Because okay, people, anybody who knows long enough know Sanchez hides in the bathroom from the family. Like, he literally hides. He's about using the bathroom. You've been using that bathroom for 45 minutes, boy. You hide it. You know what I'm saying? So I haven't even seen him do that. So I would be like, don't come out the bathroom. Take a shower and don't come out the bathroom. I don't care what you do, because I know that that's your safe space.
Right.
Or there are things that he'll get angry because I can get up. I'm not full emotional, but I can get up and I can do stuff or whatever, which frustrates him. But I'm like, no, sit. He'll be, as soon as I move, he's like, where you going? And I'm like, I'm going to get some water, because I think that I understand what you're saying. But as a caretaker, you do need a moment. You will crash and burn. That does not, what's the word I'm looking for? Help us both.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I want to have this conversation, because I think there's a lot of caretakers out there and a lot of carees,
right.
Basically, they don't have this real conversation about it. And I think from myself, I'm watching you, right? And I'm looking at you and I'm watching you, and I have to say, hey, Ange, whatever this thing is that you need right this moment, it's going to have to wait. You know what I'm saying? Is it, because I say to myself, seriously, like, is it necessary? Do you need it right now? Can you wait, right? Or can you do it for yourself? Which is kind of scary to try to do anything for myself, because you like, no, don't move. And I'm like, babe, I truly got it. But you just need to you need time for yourself too. And I think that that's where we came to a battle, because you're like, no, and I can do it, but you can't do everything. And I appreciate everything that you do, but you can't do everything. And that's where, like, even my doctor's appointments, he'll come up for every appointment. I'll be like, you can stay in the car. He's like, no, I'm coming up. I'm like, but you can stay in the car. And I know you always say, like, why is she always telling me to stay in the car?
Right.
Because you just need a moment, babe. You need a moment without me. You need a moment without a physical therapist, or, because they even train him how to do physical therapy if you meet at home. Right. And so, but you need a moment to yourself, and I think whether you like it or not, that's where I am when I'm pushing you and you're getting angry, that you need a moment to sit down and relax.
Yeah. But also, I think there's a part of this that people don't like to talk about, because this is actually not my first rodeo as a caretaker, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I had that role as a much younger individual.
Your grandparent.
With my grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't his primary, but I was the one that was there the majority of the time, because I was living with him.
Right.
I was living with my grandparents at the time, and it got to a certain point where my grandfather really didn't want anybody else to do anything for him but me.
Right.
And this was my adolescent, teenage years, where, and I don't think I've ever, I know I've never had this particular conversation on the air.
Or with me.
Yeah.
Because I'm listening, because I'm like, wait, well, I knew about you caretaking, but not we've never had the conversation.
Yeah. So I know I've spoken about my grandfather, because he is the most important. There are two individuals that have always played a huge impact in and on my life. And that's been always since the inception of me, and that's my grandfather, J.C. Robinson, and my older brother, Terrence Crenshaw. Unfortunately, both have departed from me. My brother at a very young age, due to violence, he was murdered. And then my grandfather later on in life, who the strongest man I ever knew, but then got sick. He developed Parkinson's, and then other illnesses came along. But I saw him go from the strongest individual I ever knew in my life to someone who could barely feed himself, to someone who couldn't walk anymore and had to be pushed in a wheelchair and couldn't use the left side of his face due to, on top of everything, and a stroke. And it's just, anyway, but I found myself in a position of being his caretaker. Like I said, I wasn't his primary, other family members were there as well, but I was the one who was there the most.
Right.
From going to church with him to everything.
Right.
Like, I'll never forget this one time where We were sitting in church because he still pastored his church up until anyway. I'm gonna get angry if I have that particular conversation. But we were sitting in church, and I'm in the back of the church, and I'm looking at him, and he wasn't right, and I knew he wasn't right, and because he didn't take his medicine, so I went, gave him his medicine. I didn't care what was going on in church. It was in the middle of church. Somebody was up preaching. I didn't care.
Right.
I had to go take care of my grandfather.
Right.
And after church, my family came to me. It's like, how did you know? Like, why did you do that? I was like, I looked at him and I knew he wasn't right. And I could just tell by looking at him because that's how much time I spent.
Right.
So this is not my first rodeo as a caretaker. But I think the part that caretakers don't like to talk about, and only because my own experience, especially when you're taking care of a family, when the carry is a family member, it's different if you're being paid for, but it's another thing when you're taking care of a family member. There's a guilt sometimes that's there because I don't have a right to feel any kind of way. You're the one that's either going through a procedure, or you're the one that's sick, or you're the one whose life has been altered.
Right.
I don't have a right to feel any. I don't have a right to feel tired. I don't have a right to feel. I don't have a right to say no. I don't have a right to be like, I don't want to do this, or why does she keep calling my name, or why does she? I don't have a right to. I don't have a right to do that.
Right.
Because you went through a life altering experience, whether it's an illness, whether it's a surgery. Whatever it is, you've gone through a life-altering experience.
Right.
The only thing I'm being is mildly inconvenienced. That's it. I can still get up and go. I can still do maneuver. I can still move around the earth the way I want to.
Right.
I'm just being mildly inconvenienced. So I don't have a right to feel a kind of way. I don't have a right to feel tired. I don't have a right to feel overwhelmed. I don't have a right to feel anxious. I don't have that right.
Right.
And for me, that's something I've always battled with, where even if I start to feel that kind of way, then I start having a conversation with myself like, yo, dog, get yourself together. How dare you?
Right.
Like she's going through some things right now. If she wants some water, get your behind up and go get her water. I don't care how you feel.
Right.
If she needs to get up, if whatever she needs at that moment, how dare you not be available to do it?
Right.
So that's a part of it too that I don't know if a lot of caregivers have that conversation, have that honest conversation.
I don't think that they do. I don't think they have that conversation that they're feeling quite guilty. Like you just, how open and honest you were with that. But here's the thing, you do have a right to feel tired. You do have a right to feel exhausted. It is a lot of work, right? Because where you may like, she can't walk, but it takes a lot of physical, emotional, and mental stress on people. You're not going to tell me that it doesn't.
No, it does.
Okay,
no,
so when you say or when other people, caregivers, I'm just telling caregivers right now, I release you in the name of Jesus. You have a right to feel exhausted. You have a right to feel mentally and emotionally drained. It is virtually impossible to take care of a family member, first of all, and not feel emotionally drained, especially if you see them going through the pain that they're going through. Right. You can't cut that off, first of all. And mentally, it is virtually impossible to take care of be a caregiver and not be mentally drained, because not only does your mind have to be on, because you have so many meetings that you do every single day, but then you have to be able to look at me and say, is she lying, or does she really need something and she don't want to tell me? And then mentally be on if what she needs, like all of that is mental. That's mental stress. And I don't think that no caregiver, we're releasing all caregivers right now, that you feel that you don't have a right to feel those things. This is exhausting for both of us. It's exhausting. And so for me as a caree, I have to be just as in touch with you as you are with me, to be able to see that you're exhausted and go, I'm going to get out a minute. You know what I'm saying? Or do as much for myself that I can do, even if you want to do it for me. Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense. But then it's also a situation where, how fair is that to you? And see, that's the thought process that runs through my mind. How fair is that to you? Because once again, you are in a healing process. You have the right to heal. You have a right to focus on your healing, because once again, this is not just a physical thing. This is, and I think that's part of, I don't know how many people have this particular conversation, but surgeries, illnesses, those things are just not physical. When a person gets sick, it's just not physical. It's a mental toll that takes place on them. It's an emotional toll. It's a spiritual toll that takes a hold of people.
Right.
Because like with you, when you're a person, you've been in pain for 2.5 years, but you were still going, you were still working, you were still driving, you were still doing everything you needed to do, because that's your makeup, that's the person you are. So now you take all that away, and you don't take it all away slowly. It gets taken away abruptly. Because on Monday you were up and about and doing whatever you had to do. Yes, you were in pain, but you were a soldiering on. For Tuesday, but you not to be able to get out the bed. It was a 24-hour process where your entire life changed in 24 hours.
Yeah.
So it's how fair is that for me to, I go back to, how fair is that to me to say, oh, well, she can get some water? No. How fair is that? But
then but here's the thing though, for that, I hear what you're saying, but also here's the thing that you have to say to yourself, right? And I say to myself, but how well can you take care of me if you're exhausted and you're drained and you're tired? Here's the thing about that, especially when it's family members, we have to remember that we are a team, right? And so because we are a team, especially married couples, we are a team,
right.
Then we have to look out for one another. And I know how much I can do. Right? And you know how much you can do, right? But because you know me so well, you be like, no, you can't do that right now. The same way I know that, no, you can't do that right now. And so at that point, right, we have to take care of one another. And so I want to have this conversation because I see your frustration. Be like, Ange, where you going? Ange, I'm going, baby, I don't need you to give me no water. Like, I'll go to the bathroom and then sneak off to the kitchen. Because if I don't, because if I pass this man, he'd be like, sit down. And like, you know what I'm saying? And we're a team.
Yeah.
Right. We're a team. And I think that caretakers and carees need to understand that they're a team, and that the caretaker has to be taken care of as well, to make sure that your emotional and your physical and your spiritual mind, you could fight me on this all day long.
It's not that I'm fighting you on it, because I get it. But also, speaking of the team aspect, I live by the old football creed. I played football growing up. I'm a huge football fan. Football's next man up. So yeah, we're a team, but there's going to be some times where a team member may get injured. And if that team member get injured, then the rest of the team has to step up.
Yeah.
And so it's the next man up.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's for me, it's the next man up. My team, you're right, we are a team, we are partners in this, but my teammate has been injured. My quarterback just got injured.
Yeah.
So I got to step up.
And you do, but I also got to make sure that I'm healing well and watch you before you get hurt, and then you can't do nothing.
Right.
Then we two people in this camp. They can't do Now that's going to be real, because then at that point,
we had a luck at that point then.
My mama here.
Yeah.
What's she going to be doing?
That we had a luck on that point.
We got Morgan at work and mommy here.
Yeah.
With her oxygen. What we doing?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So we have to consider that. So I think that what has to happen is, what we had to decide to do is make a plan for each other. Because this is the only way that this was going to work. And of course, you fought me on any kind of plan.
Yeah, family, she love her plans.
There has to be a plan.
She love her meetings.
Whatever. There has to be a plan. It has to be a plan. Right? And so with the plan, here we are discussing what we should have been discussing. But I told him the plan is, we got to take care of each other. This is not how it works.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to take, in order for me to heal, I still have to push myself, right? I still have to push myself, like really push myself. So to heal as well. So it's also my responsibility too, to get up for myself and do things for myself and be able to have the capability. And as a team player too, those things you're going to have to allow me to do. And now in this season, I'll be like, okay, if I need it, I'm going to ask you for it, right? But if I don't ask you for it, kind of just let me do it and see how far I can go, right? And I think what happens is you don't let me do that, because, which I didn't know, it's the guilt part that plays in your head.
Yeah, that's a huge portion of it, but also it's a situation of, I know you, and you will push yourself too far too fast, and then what happens is now you push yourself too far too fast, and now you have a setback. And with this particular situation, you can't afford a setback right now, because a setback for you means that your leg doesn't work properly for the rest of your life. And so that we can't have. So a lot of it for me is also is protecting you from you. Because a lot of the times I'm always, and that's something we've had a conversation about, even outside of the current journey we're on. We always have a conversation about there are times that we have to protect each other from each other. Mm-hmm. And I have to there's sometimes in life I have to protect you from you.
Right.
And so in my mind, I'm like, okay, yeah, she's going to push it too far because that's her personality. She's always going to push it to that line just to see how much she can do, just to see how much she can accomplish, because there's still a part of you after 22 years. There's still a part of you that I am woman, hear me roar. There's still that part of you. And because I know that's still that part, I am every woman, hear me roar. I can do all things. I can do everything. I don't need any help to do anything.
Right.
Because I know that part of you still exists, not to the extent it used to, but I know that part of you still exists. So, and you'll push it, and you'll do more than you need to do, and you'll push the envelope. And that was fine before, but now, because if you push it too far and you go too far past this envelope, that's a lifetime. Result, or that's not the word I want to use, but we're gonna go with that right now. That's a lifetime result, because once again, if this doesn't heal, if this knee doesn't heal right, then you're affected for the rest of your life with it,
right? And
that's what I'm trying to avoid,
right?
And so
but you're gonna have to trust me, babe.
I do,
and when you
to a certain extent,
right, that's what I'm saying. So trust me, but when you do see it that I'm going too far, then stop me,
right? But
don't stop me before I even get started, bruh, because I think that you're always on call. You're on call in your sleep. If I move wrong, it's like, hey, where you going? What you doing? What's up? Like, you literally don't even sleep properly because you're like up. That's not good for your health, right? That's not.
To it.
No, bro, that's not good. I don't care what you say. Like, I have to protect you from you too. Right? And I know that that's not good for Sanchez. That's not good for a Sanchez Crenshaw that I'm married to. A no sleep Sanchez Crenshaw ain't good for not nobody in this house, outdoors, at the job, parking lot, Kmart, Walmart. It's just not good for no marts.
It's not true.
It's not.
Okay, it's kind of true.
It's not good. So, and so I know that about you. So I, in the beginning, I said, absolutely, I get that. I get it, but now you're just going to have to let me see what I can do. And then if you see me going too far, grab hold. But you don't even want me to get started. This is too much for you to do.
It's because also, in the words of a famous philosopher, you don't listen.
I do listen. And I've been a very great listener. In this situation, I've done so much listening. Lord have mercy. So much. I've learned patience.
Right.
I've learned really good listening skills. I've learned to be able to be quiet, which is, whoa, that's a lot. I've been able to know, like, okay, sit down, because this knee is in total control, and this knee be like sat down, and if I don't sat down, it'll sit me down, right? And so I know those things. I'm learning so much about myself in this process.
Right.
But what I'm not fenced to do, right, is in this process wear you out too, right? And I think that's what carees don't convey to their caretakers. They be like, you moving too fast, you're doing too much, because some of them don't convey what I'm conveying now, and they're moving too quickly, they're moving too fast, because they can see the tiredness in the caretaker.
Right.
They can see the caretaker wore out. They can see that they're exhausted, that they're frustrated, and they're aggravated, and so they try to get like going so quickly, or get healed so quickly, or move the process needle so quickly, because they just want them to have a break, and they don't have the conversation. And so the goal for us was to have the conversation so we understand where we are in this process, and what I see and what I'm doing, why I'm doing, and because what I see in you. You take very good care of me, but I have to take very good care of you too. I won't wear you out, and I know how far I can push myself. And yes, I am a pusher. Push it. Push. Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't know what squirrel, y'all. I'm so sorry.
Oh, man.
But I need you to let me get started. And if you see me pushing too hard, then pull me back. Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense. No, it makes sense. I can't promise. But it makes sense. Let's just say that. It does make sense. Because once again, at the end of the day, my goal is to always make sure you're okay. That's always been, when it comes to you, that's always been who I am. I know this may sound crazy, and I know this is not necessarily the right way to do it, but when it comes to us, I could care less about me. I need you okay.
Yeah.
I need you to shine. I need you to thrive. I need you to flourish. I need you, whatever I have to do to ensure that you shine and ensure that your happiness and ensure that you get everything in life that you deserve and you accomplish everything in life that you need to accomplish and open all the doors you need to open. And as long as you're doing it, I'm okay. I'm all right. Whatever I need to do, whatever sacrifice I need to make, whatever lack of sleep, whatever I need to do, that's always been my focus. That's it.
And I am like super humbled, and I'm super thankful, and I love you for that. But you can't steal my shine either, because that's what it is for me. I'm not gonna let you. I don't care for me or anybody else. You're not gonna be sitting around here exhausted, working, trying to take care of me and cook and clean and all these things. That's just not. That doesn't work for me. And me just let you do it and not say something. Not let you do it and not be like, sit down somewhere. Not let you do it and not let you have a moment to yourself. That is not how that works for me. Right. And you know that I'm going to take care of you at all costs. And I think that's where the battle came in, because we're the same person when it comes to each other.
Right.
The battle is, I'm going to take care of you. You're going to take care of me to a default. So how does this work if we both mad? Like, you like, sit down. You like, no, you sit down. No, you sit down. Like I'm not gonna, I appreciate everything that you do for me, but if it's at the detriment of your health, your mental and your spiritual, emotional, then all bets are off. That is not happening for me. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where it's like, no, go in the bathroom, don't come out. No, you can't go in the doctor's office with me. No, you're not going upstairs with me. No, sit in the car, because I just feel like you need that. You have a job that is very demanding. And then you got a wife who goes to physical therapy 3 times out the week. And then you're doing physical therapy at home. You know what I'm saying? So it's a demanding situation. You know, not that we don't have love and family, but the gist of it is you, right? And so at that point, I have to cut you off somewhere. You don't like it, but it's like, no, nope, don't want to do it. Nope, not going. Nope, don't care. Nope, not thirsty. My throat could be dry as a Sahara desert. You hear what I tell you? But if I see you tired and I know that my knee won't let me move, then I'm willing to wait. I'm not gonna. Unless you're going in that kitchen, I'm not going to say a word, because you have a right to it. You have a right to some type of peace too, because you're doing so much. And I think that, again, I'm just freeing some caretakers. Caretakers, you have a right to have 20 or 30 minutes to yourself. You have a right to eat dinner without anybody calling. You have a right to go in the bathroom and not be needed. You have a right to do that and not feel guilty. Release the guilt. And I think the only way that you can actually release the guilt is to have the real conversation. Yeah. That this is where you are, because you're having this with me, because we really haven't discussed it. No, but if you just go, and you're like, baby, why won't you let me do this? And why do you want to do that? I'm like, no, I'm telling you why. Because when you could see your grandfather, I can see my husband. Right. And when I see you in that space, there's nothing that's going to change my mind. You can't change my mind. You can't move for me. You can't do nothing, whether you like it or not. I just won't let it happen, because I see you. Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense.
I see you. And it's so important that caretakers and careys see each other and be like, okay, the caretaker needs a break. He needs a break. She needs a break. They need a break, whether they're getting paid or not. Is break. And it's so intense when it's family members. Yeah. It's so much more emotional, intensified when it's a family member, someone that you really care about and that you really love, right? And you want to will them back to health, and you want them to be better, and you want to take care of them, but you're tired, and you're running on 5%, and they want 4%. So then you only have 1% for yourself. How does that work? I just don't want that for you. In the beginning, when we first started this, I saw that in you. And I was like, something has to change. You know, I don't want that for him. I don't want you to only give yourself 1%. You deserve all your percent. It's your percents, right? But 1% is not going to work. 1% is not effective. 1% is not healthy for you and all that you do. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
So, again, having this conversation, I see you, you know, I appreciate you taking care of me. I love you. You don't have to feel guilty, because right now, again, I see you in those times that you're exhausted. I'm just asking that you sit down somewhere, that you take a minute to yourself, that you play your game, or you hide in the bathroom, you read a book, go on the patio, go clean the car. I really don't care what you do, honest to God, as long as it's something for yourself and you taking time for yourself. Like today, I'm super excited because first he didn't want to do it, but he's going to go clean his car. He's going to go clean the cars, rather. And he's going to be by himself. And first he was like, I'm going to take you all these places and I'm going to do. No, you're going to do your stuff first, your car, because that's what you like to do. It's therapeutic for you to clean your car, make your car look good. Those things are for you. And then anything else after that that we may need to do together, we'll do it then. But I need for you to put yourself first. It is 7 days of the week. You need to have some days for yourself as a caretaker. That's just my thought process. That's how I feel, so I'm not changing my mind. But anyway, go ahead. Go ahead, carry on, sir.
Nah, ain't really much more than you say. I think you pretty much covered it.
Because it's difficult.
No, it is.
It's difficult.
Yeah, it's what happens is that I think we like talking about the physical aspect of a lot of things. Mm-hmm. We like talking about if we're in pain or stuff that we can quantify that way.
Yeah.
But it just becomes really difficult having those conversations when we're talking about emotions, when we're talking about our emotional beliefs, our
feelings,
spirituals, where we are spiritually, where we are mentally, where we are emotionally.
Yeah.
It's hard to have those particular conversations because you really can't. You can put a finger. You can fix. If you tell me your knee hurts, I can give you an ice pack. I can give you a pill. I can give you your heating pad. I can help do. I can help do something to alleviate the physical pain.
Right.
But when we start talking about emotional pain, we start talking about a spiritual pain. We start talking about a mental pain.
Right.
I can't put a finger on it. I can't put a hand on it.
Yeah.
I can't
know what to touch,
I don't know
fix.
what to touch. I can't fix that.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of the times that's why we don't have these type of conversations when it's a situation where it's a caregiver and a caree, or even it's a situation of, it doesn't even have to be a caregiver situation, just in a regular relationship, just in a everyday, as we say, regular degular relationship.
Regular degular.
We don't like having these particular conversations because understanding how someone feels about something is so difficult.
Yeah.
It's so difficult. It's just for me, just to sit down and truly understand.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times it's a situation we both lived, a situation we both went through, but I saw it one way.
Right.
You saw it a different way.
Right.
And now you're telling me how you feel about how you saw it.
Right.
And because I didn't see it that way, it's hard a lot of times for me to wrap my brain around how you feel about something. So that's why a lot of the times people don't like having those feeling conversations, because those feeling conversations sometimes are so complicated to understand.
Yeah. And you know what, too, with that, too, to just piggyback off that, also those feelings conversations is, hopefully I'm not coming off in a way that's going to hurt this person's feelings.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm not coming off and this person here, I don't want to take care of you.
Right.
I don't want to help you.
Right.
I don't want to do for you.
Right.
You a problem. You an issue.
You're ungrateful.
You're ungrateful. You know, like you don't want to have those so those emotional in those conversations, because how will this person perceive what I'm saying? Will they receive it in the way that I'm trying to give it to them, the way that I'm trying to articulate it to them, per se, right? And so what happens is that's why a lot of people don't want to have them, right? Because once I say this to you, then you're gonna think I don't care about you, I don't love you, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Once
those words are out there, they're out there.
You're right, exactly.
There's no taking them back.
They're taking it back. But I think without having those real conversations, then both parties are stuck.
Yeah.
Right? And you're stagnant and you're not having the real conversation. And then y'all both are wore out, or both mad or angry or bitter. And in 5 years down the line, we're like, you had such an attitude when you was trying to help me, you hurt my leg, or you did this. And you're like, what? I was just tired. But I didn't know you was tired. Right. To me, you didn't say you were tired. So to me, you were frustrated with me. You were aggravated with me. You didn't want to help me.
You did it on purpose.
You did it on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or the caretaker's like, every 5 minutes you calling me for some water. You know what I'm saying? Like those things, like you just saw me come out the kitchen. You know you wanted water. Why didn't you? Know what I'm saying? All these things, instead of having these real conversations and saying, this is where I am, this is how I feel. But emotional conversations are so hard, because
it's so difficult to have.
How will this person perceive what I said?
Yeah. They're so difficult to have.
They're difficult to have. But unfortunately, in this particular little Crenshaw Corner marriage, we got to have them, because, guys, we are a force. The Crenshaws are a force individually. Yeah. And so we cannot not have these conversations with each other. It is so important to have them with each other. And so I just thought that this would be good to have on the mic because maybe it'll free up a caretaker and a caree, and they can now have these conversations and really say, like, this is why I was listening to this podcast about this, and this was like an aha moment for me, and we really need to talk about this. You know what I'm saying? And if there's anything that I can do for you, you're my caregiver, and I love you, but is there anything that I can do for you? And ask those questions, and anything that I can do for you. You're doing so much for me. Is there anything that I can do from you? Yeah, maybe in the bed or whatever. Can I do something for you? Like, do you need a half an hour to yourself, or a day to your, like, whatever that is? We have to ask those questions. Still, is there anything that I can do for you? You know? So,
actually, I'm glad we had this conversation. I feel it was a really good conversation.
You feel better?
I do.
Yeah.
Do you have any final words for the family?
No, I think, you
What's
know
your final
me.
thought? What's your final essay?
I don't have an essay. Don't do that, because you're going to be like, my thought is very simple.
Well, it is.
Communicate. You know, like, dude, dog. Anyway.
What's your
my
final
voice
essay?
again? My it's not a final essay, baby. It's a final thought. I have a thought. Okay, thank you. I have a thought to the caretakers. Please be honest with the people that you're taking care of, and let them know that you need an emotional or mental break. You'll be back. You love them, but you really need to take it so you'll be able to give them the best care that you can give. But again, you can't give them the best care if you're not caring for them. And to the carees, please hear their heart, hear what they have to say.
Right.
Listen to the conversation. Don't think it's being malicious or mean, but really don't even answer. Just respect what they're asking and say, okay,
right.
if you can, but that's my thought. Look at my thought.
No, your thought was a good thought. It wasn't even an essay.
Thank you.
My thought is going to be.
You better not say it.
My thought is going to be.
You can say simple.
No, may I do my thought? I didn't interrupt you.
Go ahead, do your thought.
I did not interrupt
Do
you.
your thought, player. Play it through your thought.
If you're wondering how to have the conversation, whether you're a caree or a caregiver, and a conversation needs to be had, and you're wondering, where do I start? The first thing you do, to be honest, is that you start in prayer. The two of you come together, and you come together in prayer, and you ask God to open up your heart, open up their heart, that they can receive and that they can see how you really feel and what you really mean, and that God will give you the words to use, that there will be clarity, that there will be no animosity, there will be no hurt feelings, and that throughout this conversation that God will intervene and be a part of it. And that's how you started.
Yeah.
You started with, if you're not sure, if you're hesitant, if you're fearful of having the conversation that needs to be had, then how do you start it? You start it in prayer. And you just pray for God's wisdom. You pray for his words. Right. And you pray that he will soften the heart, not only your heart as you begin the conversation, but he will soften the heart of the person that needs to hear what you have to say.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be my final thought.
That was good, babe.
I appreciate you. Baby, it feels good to be back on the mic with you.
Oh, my goodness.
Family, hopefully we'll be back before June.
Listen.
Oh, don't do that. Why'd you do that?
Rah?
Stop that.
That's what Pootie do.
But you ain't Pootie.
Rah.
That's Pootie's. Don't take Pootie stuff.
Don't take Pootie stuff. Okay. Am I plagiarizing?
You plagiarized. You gonna get a letter from his lawyer.
Listen, sorry, Pootie. We sorry, Pootie.
Family, we thank you for listening.
Gosh, we love you guys so much. Miss you so much.
Yeah. However you're listening, whether it's on iTunes, whether it's Podbean, whether it's Spotify, whether it's Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or on our own personal website at www.theCrenshawCorner.com. Family, as always, we consider ourselves an interactive podcast, which means we can be found on the socials. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook, all under the Crenshaw Corner.
Yes.
And of course, you can email us at any time at thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com.
Yes.
Once again, thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. And as always, family, welcome to our journey.
We love you guys. Bye.